Welcome to the I Give Life to Life podcast with Coach Enrgy, the single parent's life coach. This is where I will share valuable content on all matters of the heart and various life issues that single dads and single moms face, such as relationships, marriages or divorces, effective communication, co-parenting, time management, dating as a single parent, life-changing events, and so much more. So this is part 2. Hopefully you have listened to part 1 and are fully caught up. But this is part 2 with my guest, Marcus Radford, where we talk about relationships and his experiences with relationships and just being on the dating scene in general. If you haven't listened to part 1, I guarantee you will want to hear that first. So press pause and go play part 1 right here on the same channel and come back to listen to part 2 because you want to be caught up. You want to hear the foundation of where part 2 is coming from. And if you have listened to part 1, then you are in for a treat because part 2 is just as good, if not better. So make sure you stay tuned. We're jumping right in. And I'm glad that you brought that up, because that led us, to talk about and discuss a bunch of other things that I didn't expect. So, I don't want to keep talking about that particular situation or anything like that, just out of respect for you, and the lady, whoever she is. So we can, move on from this if you want, or we can stay right here either way. But, I do want to make sure that, you're definitely comfortable, with this conversation and with speaking with me right now. So I want to just respect that.
Right. Yeah, we could, we just talk about whatever you want to talk about.
That'll work. So you know what? I'm going to tell you right now, I might have to do a part 2 with you. I'm not sure because you have, you said a lot of different things that I wanted to make sure that we expound on throughout this recording. And I don't think that we'll be able to get to them all. However, I'm going to ask you about another thing that you said. You mentioned that, you run into a lot of women. You know what? Hold on. I want to speak about this one just in case we run out of time. I at least want to get this one in. So you said that. Okay. So you said that you not. I'm paraphrasing. You're not too fond of women who are looking for a ready-made man. Right. And then you said because typically those women, they come with just a bag. Did I say that correctly?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
Your recall is crazy.
Thank you. And then so you said that, but then that's on one hand. But on the other hand, you said, but there are a lot of money-driven, career-driven women that are out here who are selfish to that extent, meaning that they're not going to be any good for a relationship. So it's like you just gave examples of women on, opposite sides. So which one is it? Which, how is it an issue with women who are okay with not necessarily being career-driven and coming into a relationship with just a bag versus a woman who is like, what, I'm career focused. I want to get mine. I want to make sure that I'm set before I come into a relationship. Like I'm confused from both of those statements coming from the same person.
Well, here's the thing. That's my build with me. Build with me. You see what I'm saying? Like, because I'm telling you, if I get to that point of success without a woman, I'm gonna be so suspect of any woman that comes after me after that. After I make, I'm probably not even gonna want a relationship at that point. But
But aren't you suspect now? So does it matter? Because you're suspect now, and you're based off of your own words. You're still at a point of where you are building. However, you said that you're going to be suspect if or when a woman comes to want to be with you after you have built, past tense, after you have already made it. So you're going to be suspect in both of those cases. So where does that leave you?
Right. And therein lies my battle. that's where my battle is, it's yeah, it's a crazy thing. It's crazy out here. It's crazy.
Right? But so you know what? I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna put you on blast. Like, are you one of those people who make relationships and dating more difficult than what it has to be? As opposed to just simply following your instinct, listening to what a person tells you and shows you who they are from when they tell you and show you they are. Believe a person when they show you who they are, and then have your do's and don'ts, or your standards, or your non-negotiables. I'll say it that way. Have your non-negotiables, aka your deal breakers. And as you are meeting women, then you have your guideline to where you're not putting yourself, keyword, putting yourself in any unnecessary time wasting situations.
Well, see, that's part of me getting older too, is and these are things I'm just really figuring out, or actually doing,
Mm-hmm.
It could get, for me this thing, it's so weird because the older I get, I get set in my ways. I
How old are you?
40.
Okay.
Yeah. Like a woman's biological clock ticks, a man's clock ticks too, and it's like, we ain't getting no younger.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I guess I'm frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm frustrated with the world. I hate when men procrastinate. I hate when women procrastinate. Like, if we're gonna do this, let's do this.
Mm-hmm.
Don't waste my time. I don't want to waste yours.
Right.
It's like,
mm-hmm. No, I get it. I totally get it. Yeah, it can be frustrating for sure. And that's when, that's when those non-negotiables, they get a little bit tighter. You get a little bit, stronger behind the, your belief in holding fast to those non-negotiables, because, you see that you don't have the time to waste. And especially like we were talking about earlier, with everything that's going on in the world right now, we don't have time to waste. And it's just so important to find that person with whom who also understands that, we cannot waste time. We either going to make this thing happen or we're not. We're either both going to give it our all or we're not. So I get it.
Yeah.
So with your dating that you do, like, do you have like an ultimate goal of like marriage, or, do you not, are you just looking to, just be with someone, whether it's a marriage or not?
That's the thing though. I just want us to be happy. If that's marriage, then cool. If we're not going, if you don't want that title on you, just as long as we are happy, I don't care. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I would like marriage, but
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
if we happy, then that's good.
Okay. Right. Right on. Right on. So earlier you also mentioned, that you run into a lot of career-driven women, and from the sounds of it, that's not what you are looking for. That's not what the type of woman that you're attracted to. However, for purposes of this conversation, where do you find yourself meeting these type of women? Not necessarily, specific names of places. I don't want to, put your business out there like that. However, if you can just kind of give us, like general concepts like the grocery store or, at the gym or, whatever, like where are you meeting these career-driven women? If that's all you're running into.
I just meet them around. I like some most of the time I s- and it's like a lot of times where I work or where I was working at the time. Uh, that's usually where I meet women is at work.
Mhm.
In the workplace. Uh, and now let me clarify something else too. It's weird because I'm attracted to career-driven women, but I I'd be wanting so bad for them to just like me. Like I'm that guy. You should like me. Like you should like me. Like, but it's just it's. I guess I'm weird because I'm attracted to a career-driven woman. I just like if we clicking and we decide we're gonna pursue a relationship, then let's do that. Like, put some focus, some effort into it. Like, don't just think I'm just supposed to just put up with, or don't put me on the side. Like, don't pick me up and set me down when you ready. Like, if we decide we're gonna mutually pursue this relationship, then put some effort into it, because I'm gonna put some effort into it. Like, or you're gonna see me you're gonna see me walk away. I'm gonna tell you, no, this ain't going that it ain't gonna work that way, and then I'm gonna be out of there. I'm gone. And I've seen some women get mad because I said, no, I ain't finna put up with that. Bye. And I left. They and they was like mad and shocked that I did that. Like, and you could see them cussing and flipping me out. Like, oh, well, all right, that's what you got. That's how you feel. But yeah,
So, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, that's typically where I meet women. That's usually where I mean, just around. It's not any particular place.
Okay.
A lot of times it's just around, or like I said, the workplace.
Mm-hmm. And then being at the workplace, it's kind of understandable, that they're career driven.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Right. All right. Now, so let me ask this question then. If you were saying just a second ago that, you're the type of guy that, women are supposed to like you. Like you're likable and you expect them to like you, and not, just pick you up and sit you down, whenever they feel like it. So have they ever said to you, have you ever asked the question like, okay, what is it about me? Do you know, I'm asking you now, do you know the common theme, the common things that they say, or what is it about you that keeps women from being fully committed to you? Have you ever asked them, and or do you just know? Since you are you, do you know what it is about you?
Usually, it's okay. So women, I don't know, they get like thrown off that I am right from the beginning. I am. If we say we're gonna do this, then I'm 100% committed, and I'm there. You know, I'm Johnny on the spot. You know, and I think women actually like get turned off from that from the beginning. But they don't see it until after the fact. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, by that time, now I'm turned off because you basically, I don't know how to put that. It's like you agreed we got something going on here, and we making things happen, but you get scared, and you basically they basically like push me away, and then I don't hear from them for a long time, and then out the blue, after I done been turned off, I done forgot about them, I done said to hell with that relationship then, and then out the blue I hear from them again, and they're like, hey, I'm sorry, but yeah, that stuff, that type of thing, it just throws me off, and it turns me off.
Oh yeah, and I can understand that. I'm the same way. Like if we're adults and I'm having a conversation with an adult, and we both are saying, okay, are we going to do this thing? And we both say yeah, then that's what I'm expecting. And if you tell me or show me that you really weren't ready, then I'm like, okay, well, what was the point of the conversation? Why did you even say yes if you weren't ready? So no, right. I get it. Ugh, yeah.
Yeah. But and these are characteristics that I don't like out here, but in my quest to find my mate, so I these are things that you just kind of sometimes have to you what's the word? You work through them, and you sift through. You got to sift through a lot out here, but I refuse to give up because I know that woman she's out there.
Oh yeah.
And she's waiting for me.
That's right. She's waiting on you to find her, for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not a quitter.
Mm-hmm. So that's good.
So, I just keep pushing.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll wave her hand at me like, hey,
here I am, right? Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this question to follow up your response to you being Johnny on the spot, you being you from the beginning, from the rip, from the jump, you being 100% committed, 100% all in, and you were saying that maybe that throws a lot of the women off, maybe it scares them. my question to you to follow up that is, before you decide to make it official with that woman, before you all have that conversation, on average, what has been your typical amount of time that you have allowed yourself to get to know those women, which also will allow them to get to know you before you all make anything official?
Well, that's that in itself is kind of tricky. Like I hate to put time restrictions on relationships and love, and cause I've had women that we just naturally click and vibe, and and it's like,
let me jump in real quick, because
yeah.
I want to confirm, really, I don't want you to answer the wrong question. So I agree. I also am a believer in that you cannot put a certain time on love, a certain time on marriage, a certain time on any of those things. My question was based off of your own past experiences, based off your own past factual relationships, what has been. So I'm asking about, so basically these are timelines that have already come and gone. So based off of what has already happened in your life, what has been the typical amount of time that you've allowed to take place before making something official in your past relationships?
Look, my first relationship, which is probably the most relevant relationship to this date. That was a woman that I knew from elementary school, so we had been knowing each other for a long time, so it's weird. It's hard for me to put, cause me and her, we still know each other to this day. We still talk to each other, and she's going through some things that, and like I said, we've known each other since elementary school, grammar school. So it's like, she's got some things going on with her health wise that, I don't want to just throw her off to the side. I still want to be encouraging to her. So, and that was, like I said, that was my grammar school, high school sweetheart.
Okay.
My first girlfriend. So she's probably not going anywhere out of my life.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we'll never be, we'll never be an item anymore, because it's just, just things that happened that made that relationship not work. So,
no worries. Okay, so what about, I think you said you had 4 total, so 4 real relationships total. So just on average, from the remaining 3, if possible, are you able to just kind of give a rough estimate of how much time you allowed yourself to get to know those women before making things official with them?
It's probably, to be truthfully, it's probably on average about a month.
Okay.
Yeah, a month, maybe a month and a half, until Cause during those months, we was seeing each other almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
No, uh, 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 so it wasn't a whole lot that we wasn't figuring out or learning about each other. You know, and seeing each other almost every day. So
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that I didn't figure out a lot of times is that they really, when we would make a commitment to each other, that they was gonna flake out on me.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't figure that out
Got it.
from the
So,
beginning.
so during that month and a half, like, are you able to say that you did not see any kind of signs to any degree of maybe getting into an official relationship with them may not be the best thing, or did you ever have the thought of, what I'm seeing now, I'm paying attention to it. However, maybe this person will change, once we get together. Did you not see any signs at all? Was everything a shock after you got into a relationship with them?
Well, in two of those relationships, the person, like, almost, because one of them, she was, like I said, she was very flirtatious, and I ended up, she ended up cheating on me. So of course that didn't. But see, a lot of these characteristics didn't pop up until after we decided to be in a relationship. Everything was great. We was going out. We was having a good time. And one of them, we just parted ways because we just figured out we weren't really right for each other. And if I see her today, it'll be cordial. We'll be nice to each other. We won't, because she's a good woman, but we just figured out we weren't really right for each other. But what was I saying? The one who cheated on me, she didn't show her characteristics, her real character, until after we committed to each other. After we decided to, actually be a official couple.
That
as a matter of fact, let me re-say that. She showed her true colors after we moved in together.
Okay.
And the crazy thing is, she's actually the only girlfriend that I ever lived with, that I ever moved in with. And so, that's when she heard, oh man, I take that back. Wow, I'm tripping. The woman that I moved here to Charleston for, I moved in and lived with her. And but that didn't work out. But and I have to be careful because I try not to bash any woman.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
But so I see. Yeah, on average, yeah.
No, you answered it. You're good. You said about a month and a half on average.
Yeah.
And, so I'm just going to throw a rhetorical statement out there, rhetorical question, and then I'm going to ask you a question that I would like for you to answer. But the rhetorical statement or question would be, have you considered possibly extending that 1 month, maybe month and a half, a little bit longer, especially since, you're looking for something more committed. And especially, since you're running into a lot of the same issues, with the same types of women. So, maybe since, not necessarily saying, oh, well, if you extend it to at least 3 months, then you'll know for sure, no, because again, you cannot put a time on anything when it comes to relationships and dating and things like that. However, just, maybe something to consider, or have you considered it, maybe just extending that just a little bit longer, because basically that timeline, whatever it is per person, is really dependent upon that particular person's ability and method and speed of being able to get to know the person, of being able to, really see them beyond the surface layers. So that's why it's really hard to put a timeline on it, because everyone analyzes, a person in a relationship differently, at different speeds and at different rates, and, at different levels. So, if it's not working, just the rule of thumb in general in life, if something's not working, change it, adjust it, and try something else. So that's just a rhetorical statement I wanted to say. But for purposes of this conversation, and just in case people who are listening to this are wondering, what's your definition of flirting, flirtatious? You were just talking about one of your exes who, one of her traits were, she was a very flirtatious person. What does flirting look like to you, just so we all know what you mean when you say that she was flirting?
In a man's face, and doing a little bit too much touching. Like, if you got a man right there, then that I think if a woman is in a relationship, there's no need for her to be within a certain proximity of another man. That's just out of respect for him, you should not be in another man's face, touchy, feely. It's disrespectful to me. Mm-hmm. And I give the same respect to a woman. I'm not all up on it. If I'm in a real relationship, there's no need for me to be in another woman's face. That's just how I feel. Mm-hmm. And I feel she should give me that same respect. Like, and true enough, she ended up cheating on me. So it was like, okay. Mm-hmm.
Right. That there's an irony in that one. All right. So I'm going to switch gears just for a second. You made a comment earlier and you said that you said that a woman who builds with a man, again, I think I'm paraphrasing. You said a woman that builds with a man, she for sure loves that man. So I want to ask you, what about the women who don't build with the man for whatever reason? Is she capable of loving that man even though she did not build with him?
I suppose anything's possible.
Okay.
I suppose she could love that man, but the problem comes is how is he really feeling about her? Like, what is he really? That's in that situation, it's about his mentality. Like, is he respecting her as a equal partner in that relationship, even though she didn't bring anything to it but herself?
It- it- so I laughed because I was stumbling over my words because I had like three things I'm trying to say at one time. Pardon
Right.
me. Um, um, and I'm purposely interjecting right now. I'm a really good listener and I do really well when, of not cutting people off. But, when I do, it's because I want to catch you right there where you are. And so what I'm interjecting in this moment is you also said earlier that you don't want anything from a woman, especially when it comes to, finances, necessarily. You want her to be there for you. So isn't that the same type of woman that you're describing right now, where it sounds like you're saying, maybe this man that has already built his life, maybe not, he may not really want her because she's not coming to the table with anything, but isn't that the type of woman that you're looking for?
No, don't take it that way. No,
Okay.
no.
Explain it to me.
See, I still like.
You said you wanted
still
someone
gotta,
spiritual and physical and to be there for you in those ways. You
right.
said if she doesn't come to the table with finances, necessarily, then, that's okay because you just want someone to love you, to treat you right, to respect you.
Right. But she still gotta have some goals about herself.
Well, that's a mental thing. Mm-hmm. That's a personality thing.
Right. It's.
So I'm not saying, she's an empty shell, but you know what I'm saying? Not saying that she's an empty shell. However, when comparing, using the example of what you were comparing, a man who's already built himself and built his wealth and built his life, you use the terms, a woman who comes to the table with nothing. Maybe I should ask that question. What do you mean by a woman that comes to the table with nothing? Yeah.
Well, that is now that's a different type of woman who's coming to the table with nothing but wants that man that I like to call ready-made. He's set. That woman. Whew. Like, I can't stand people who look at that show, Real Housewives, like that.
Why not?
Like a bunch of women who I never heard of before they married the dudes that they married to, like. And those women are so ghetto. It's. Oh man, I hate it. I hate them because they're displaying the wrong type of attitudes, and it's people out here picking up on that crap. Like, they're always confrontational. It's just like I've never even watched a full episode of that show. Like, I've caught glimpses of it because of some of the women that I was around. Like, they like to watch that show. But to me, they display the wrong type of. That's just me. I don't even know why I went off into that, but
you're fine.
But yeah, I don't even know what I was just talking about.
No, you're good. You're good. I'll lead us to another question. We're going to start wrapping this up in just a second. So this is for the women who are listening to this channel. Earlier, you mentioned that, real men are easy to find. You said they're right here. Answer this question, because I know a lot of women, they are looking for a real man. So give the women some pointers, or tell them how to find this real man that you said are easy to find.
Well, I think part of that process is a lot of women have to change their thought process and change. And I think I kind of alluded to it earlier, like real women, once they get to a certain point, they do start to change their thought process and what they're looking for. They stop looking for, like I said earlier, they stop looking for little Pookie on the corner, and they change. They wanted a man that's about a real life and real relationship, and once they start doing that, they start looking in different places. You know what I'm saying? They instead of hanging out on the corner, they go hang out at the jazz bar. They go places. They actually go away from the hood. They go downtown, and they go. They just start looking different places and meeting men that like different things, like going to the museum. They it's and it's so crazy because I've seen women go out their way to get a thug, but like, and I'll use myself as an example. I like to go to church. I play drums in the church. I like to, like I said, I like to go to museums. I like to, go downtown, and I don't do clubs. I'm past that. I'm past that point.
Mm-hmm.
I have a daughter, so I hang out with my daughter, and we go do stuff, and it's just it is that's the first big step, is changing your mentality and what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because it's real men that can adapt to you and what you're doing in life, and will make things so much easier for you, will help you get there. But you gotta want to be in it with him. it could be complicated, but it's simple at the same time. It's weird.
No, I understand it though. I understand exactly what you mean by that. Yeah, so I appreciate you answering that question for all of the women that are listening to this episode. So y'all heard it here. You got to change your mindset and change your location of where you usually frequent or where you usually find or meet men. Basically what it sounds like is go to more grown and sexy places. And yeah, I'm just going to leave it right there. So before we started recording, you and I, we were communicating, and you referenced an interview by David and Tamala Mann. In that particular interview that they were doing, I believe they were promoting their latest book called Us Against the World. So I just want to know, briefly, what is it about that couple? And or was it something in particular about that interview that intrigues you when it comes to relationships?
It's just how they get along, and how long they've been with each other, and how they helped each other and built each other up. And how, because they've been they've been together for a while, and the way they met, they met on a level playing field. They both were on the same level, and they help, they build each other up. That's the type of relationship I want. I want a woman that's gonna build me up. Don't tear me down. Because like I said earlier, you show me real love, and I'm gonna go get the world for you. I'm gonna drag the world in front in on the front lawn, just like, what you want, baby.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And I'm not a restrictive type of man. You do what you want. You are grown. You can have the world if you want to. You can work. You can do all that. I'm not that type of dude that's gonna restrict a woman. That's stupid to me. But just better, please, at all costs, just have time for me.
Right. And I don't think that is, well, not even, I don't think it's not, asking for too much, to be given time. That's one of the 5 popular love languages, quality time. And, for a person like yourself, it's important for you to find someone who understands and values time in the same manner and degree of what you value time.
Right.
Yeah. So, and, you said earlier, or just a second ago, about, wanting a woman to not tear you down. And, that is so critical and so crucial. I actually did a YouTube video on my channel that I ended up turning into a podcast episode as well. And, I think that one is called Men Don't Cry. Men Don't Cry. And then it kind of also had a subtitle about boys who grow up without fathers. But ultimately, in that video, I mentioned that women, we have to create a safe space for men. We have to create a safe space for men to be vulnerable, to open themselves up, to express their emotions, when making sure that men express their emotions, properly and appropriately, without being violent or anything like that, of course. But definitely that is an important thing, an important trait, not wanting to be torn down. And, it's something that a lot of women, females, they just don't, they're not great in that area. And it's one of the things that men need, and they need that in order to help them be great. That's my belief. And I'm hearing that being a constant underlying tone, throughout this conversation that you and I are having, is, ultimately, you want someone to love you, you want someone to cherish you, to respect you, and basically just create that safe space for you, for you to be able to be you, for you to, come home and release, to come home and breathe, and have that sigh of, that breath, give, after, like we said earlier, making it home safely.
Right.
Right. So, creating that safe space, is something that's very important for, women to do and to accomplish. And I hear it often that, why would I care about, creating a loving environment and a safe place for him when, he talks down to me, or, he's emotionally abusive to me, or he may be physically abusive to me, or whatever the case is, whatever their reasons are. And, it's unfortunate. However, one of the things that I, try to get across to people is that, as women, we just have to we have to put that out there first, meaning we have to create that safe space no matter what. Now, I'm not saying that if you are in a physically abusive relationship where your life is being, your life is on a line, to just stay there and just try to keep working out with that man. No, not, leave, get help, do what you have to do.
Right.
But for the, for anything else, create that safe space, because once we just pour love into y'all, the men, y'all will just break down. And when I say break down, I don't mean crying. You will break down and be that man that woman wants. But see, women don't understand. Honestly, it really does start with us when it comes to that aspect. That's the one area, or I'll say at least one of the main areas in a relationship that we need to take lead. Now, of course, the man is the leader of the relationship. The man is the head of the house. So I'm not saying it in that aspect. But when it comes to matters of the heart and the treatment and the emotional well-being of the relationship, our hearts talking to each other, we have to take that lead as women, because that's the way to get to a man, and that's the way to get that treatment, that queen treatment that we all desire. That's the way we're going to get it from a man. We have to love on them and pour into them and speak life into the man in order to break him down in the positive way. Because men come into relationships because you have to walk through life having your walls up, having your guards up because of what's going on in society right now. You have to always be on guard. You have to always be on the edge. And so until we show you that, hey, this is a safe space. My love is a safe space. This relationship is a safe space. Until we show y'all that, we won't see that little boy that's inside of you that just wants to pour out your love to us.
Girl, you're talking dirty to me. Oh, man. You made something tingle.
Oh, my God.
Woo.
Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna leave that one right there. That is hilarious. Oh man. So okay, last question before I start going to the ending of the podcast. Thank you for that compliment. By the way, I really do appreciate that. I mean, but it's so true. Oh my goodness, it's so true. And that's why, like I said earlier at the very beginning of the podcast, that's why I cannot only coach men, or that's why I cannot only coach single fathers, because women, in order for our men to be great, we have to show them their greatness. So anyway, So, you never know who's listening to this right now. You never know who's going to listen to the replay. And are you currently? I know you're single right now, but are you currently dating, looking to date, looking for a relationship? You never know because, like you said, there is a woman out there for you, and who knows, she might find you through this channel. So, are you single and looking?
Uh, yeah, I'm looking. I'm looking. I always got my eyes open.
There you go. All right. Well, I'll let you know if somebody pops in my DM and say, hey, how can I get in contact with Mr. Marcus? Good stuff. Oh my goodness. So I am super appreciative of the time that you have given to me. I do have a couple of ending questions that I usually do for this for my podcast. So one of the first questions is, we're going to try to answer this as briefly as possible, if you can. But regardless, make sure you get your complete thought out. So after everything that we've talked about today, considering all the different topics and different avenues that we walked down, what's one last takeaway or one last thing that you didn't get to say throughout this recording that you would like to share with our listeners? What's that one last thing you would like to share today?
You know what? I think we did a bang up job. We got some things out there. Yeah, it's just, for a real relationship to work, both sides just got to be in tune with each other and really want to be there with each other. So, that to me is just a real thing that needs to be focused on. Is if you're gonna be there, be there, and be there not for yourself. I think I think it was Chris Rock. I look at a lot of comedies because they talk about a lot of relevant stuff and just in a funny way.
Mm-hmm.
But he said something for real. He said, a relationship is you're there to serve each other. And I was like, man, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I go into a relationship, I still care about myself and what I want out of life, but I focus a whole lot more on her. Like, hey, I want to go do this, but I want to keep her more. I want more for her to be satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
Than me focusing on what I want. I think when both sides can do that, you pretty much still get what you want out of life. If both people just focus on each other, she's gonna know what I like. I'm gonna know what she like. She gonna know what I want. I'm gonna know what she wants, and we'll both end up making it happen.
That's right. It's that simple.
If we truly love and want to be there in that relationship, we're gonna do anything and everything to make them happy. And I think that it needs to be a refocus on that type of relationship.
Well said. Well said. Good job. All right. And I think I know the answer to this question. So this is the only reason I'm asking it. You said that you moved around a lot. What's the reason for the reason that you moved around a lot?
That's pretty much how my life started. So it was hard for me for a long time to sit in one place. Like I just moved.
Okay.
I actually was a truck driver, 18-wheeler driver, and I pretty much hit all 50 states. You know, I pretty much, except for Hawaii, but you know, I even drove into Mexico. That was interesting.
I bet.
But yeah, so I mean, you know, I had my daughter. She came into the world, and so that made me. And plus, I'm older now, so I'm that part of life is out of my system now. I'm comfortable sitting down in one place now.
Good.
And like I said, I have my daughter now, so she, you know, that's my baby. So you know, I'll be liking to spend as much time with her as possible.
Awesome.
So staying in one place is my thing now.
Good to know. Good. Yeah, we have to make sure that we put that on the record, you know, for that special somebody who might be interested in you.
Yeah, and that would be all good, but I ain't on here to look for my wife.
No, not at all. But you know, hey, we can kill two birds with one stone.
Cool, but
Right. Yeah, that I'll say this for the record. That is not the purpose of this recording, you guys. This is not a find me a wife episode or anything like that. No, that was just me asking those questions. So yeah, so all right, at the end of each of my podcast episodes, I'd like to ask a finale question. It's a little bit out of the box. You can either go left or you can go right. Just make sure that you have fun with it. So my question to you is, what's that one question you hoped that I would not ask?
Well, if I hoped you wouldn't ask it, I definitely don't want to say it now.
No, I won't ask you to answer it because we're at the end. That's why. I love the response.
You trying to catch me, trying to get me,
right, exactly.
Trying to catch me up.
Right. We're gonna leave it right there because I like your response. I don't even care what the question is anymore. Bump that. So, oh my goodness. Thank you so much for your time.
Slip it on, whoopie whoop.
You're so silly. You're so silly. No, because we're wrapping it up. So. So right before we close, I want to make sure that I give you the floor to talk about anything that you may have going on, whether it's a business, if you have a website, whatever it is, anything that you want to share, anything near and dear to your heart, if you have a charity, an organization, or whatever it is that you want to share for the listeners to be able to go follow, support, or research or whatever, go ahead and put that out there. This is your time to let our listeners know about you and how they can find you.
Well, great listeners of this podcast, I'm going to start me a GoFundMe for myself, so get ready to send in your donations. No, it's no, I have my own business, but I don't want to commercialize it yet because with all this stuff going on, it's just too it. And you know, I'm still trying to get the everything I need for this business. So I still don't even have a lot of the equipment for it yet. So I don't like to get out there and false advertise basically. And then people start calling me, and then I'm like, well, oh man, I can't do it because I don't have, and I'm gonna sully my name right there. So I don't want to do that yet. So, but yeah, I do have my own business. I'm actually probably gonna end up getting another job just to fund my business to get it off the ground. But gotta do what I gotta do.
That's right. That's right. Well, Marcus, I definitely do appreciate your time. I appreciate your openness, your open heart. Thank you for allowing me to dive a little bit deeper into you and your life and that mind of yours. The listeners will appreciate it. I'm sure that someone will be able to pick some nuggets of good information, valuable information that they will be able to use in their life and in their situation. So definitely appreciate you for coming on.
Oh, no problem. No problem. This was fun. This was awesome.
I told you had nothing to worry about. But awesome. All right. That's it for this episode, you guys. So if you are listening and if you would like to be a guest, make sure that you contact me. You can find me on all social media platforms, which are, well, the ones that I use are Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. You can find me there at Coach Enrgy. That is Nrgy. And let me know that you want to be a guest. Another method of how you can contact me is by visiting my website, CoachEnergy.com. That is CoachEnergy.com. You are listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, I am sure. However, if you like this episode and you would like to give it a rating, thumbs up, a 5-star rating, then make sure that you visit me on iTunes. The name of this podcast is I Give Life to Life. Once again, that is I Give Life to Life podcast by Coach Enrgy. And you guys do not forget to subscribe to any of those channels, any of those platforms that you use. Make sure you subscribe, share, follow, hit the thumbs up button, and let us know if you like this particular episode. And you know how we do. Go ahead and get the conversation started in the comments below. As always, remember, keep smiling.
Yeah.